There are people in this world who don't talk to their pets. I know, it sounds impossible, but they exist. They share their homes with these beings, these souls with dark eyes that look right through you, and they stay silent. The rest of us, we're having full conversations. We're explaining our day, asking questions we don't expect answers to, apologizing when we step on a paw. We're doing something that looks, to the outside world, a little bit strange. But here's what they don't tell you. There's a psychology to this. A reason why some of us blur the line between human and animal, between pet and person, between companion and family. And it's bigger than you think. Today we're looking at 5 psychological signs that you treat your pet like a human. Not because there's anything wrong with it, but because understanding why you do it, that's where the real story lives. Sign number 1. You apologize to them when they can't possibly understand the words. You step on their tail. They yelp. And immediately, before you even process what happened, the words come out. "I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Are you okay?" You're not just acknowledging the accident. You're seeking forgiveness from a creature who has already forgotten the moment happened. Psychologists call this anthropomorphism, the attribution of human characteristics to non-human entities. But that clinical term doesn't capture what's really happening. Because when you apologize to your dog, your cat, your bird, you're not confused about what they are. You know they're animals. What you're doing is treating the relationship itself as sacred. You apologize because, somewhere deep in your nervous system, you've decided this being deserves the same emotional consideration you'd give another person, maybe more. Because they can't argue back, they can't weaponize your guilt, they just look at you. And somehow, that's enough. There's research on this actually. Studies show that people who apologize to their pets score higher on empathy assessments. They're more likely to consider the emotional states of others, human or otherwise. They're practicing a kind of moral awareness that extends beyond species, which sounds noble. And maybe it is, or maybe you just really love them. Sign number 2. You explain things to them that they absolutely do not need explained. You're leaving the house, and before you go, you crouch down, look them in the eyes, and you tell them where you're going. "I'll be back in 2 hours. I'm just going to the store. You'll be okay." They have no concept of time. They don't know what a store is. But you explain anyway. Because somewhere in your mind, you've constructed a version of them that understands. A version that worries when you're gone. A version that needs reassurance. And here's the thing. You're not entirely wrong. Animals do experience separation anxiety. They do track patterns. Your dog knows the difference between you grabbing your keys for a quick errand and packing a suitcase for a trip. Your cat recognizes the sound of your car pulling into the driveway. They're reading you constantly. But when you explain yourself, when you narrate your departures and arrivals like you're reporting to a worried parent, you're doing something else. You're maintaining a dialogue. You're keeping them inside the story of your life. Psychologists who study human-animal bonds have found that people who verbally include their pets in daily routines report feeling less lonely. Not because the pet responds, but because the act of speaking to them, of treating them as someone who deserves an explanation, creates the feeling of companionship. It's a one-sided conversation that somehow doesn't feel one-sided at all. Sign number 3. You've developed a secret language that only the 2 of you understand. There's a sound you make. Maybe it's a specific whistle, a clicking noise, a word that isn't quite a word. And when you make that sound, they know exactly what it means. "Dinner time. Come here, it's okay, I see you." You didn't plan this language, it emerged, organically, the way languages do between people who spend enough time together. One person in the comments said it perfectly. "Sometimes I catch myself speaking to my dog in a language I don't even understand. And yet, somehow, we both get it. It's our own secret dialect, built on love, quirks, and unspoken brilliance. This is what linguists call a shared communication system. It's not just you training them to respond to commands. It's both of you learning each other's patterns. You know what their different barks mean. They know what your tone conveys before you finish the sentence. You've built something together that exists nowhere else in the world. A private understanding. And the moment you lose them, that language dies with the relationship, which is why the grief feels so particular, so isolating, because you're not just mourning a pet, you're mourning the only soul who spoke that language with you. Sign number 4. You consider their feelings before making decisions. You're choosing a new apartment, and one of your first thoughts is, will they be happy here? Is there enough light? Is there a yard? Will the neighbors be too loud? You're planning a vacation, and before you book anything, you think about them. How long can I be gone? Who will they stay with? Will they think I abandoned them? Some people would call this excessive. They'd say you're overthinking, that animals adapt, that they don't form complex emotional narratives about your choices. But research on attachment theory suggests otherwise. Pets form secure or insecure attachments to their caregivers, just like children do. They develop expectations. They feel safe or unsafe based on consistency. And yes, they can experience what looks very much like betrayal when routines are disrupted. When you factor their emotional experience into your decisions, you're recognizing something true, that they're not furniture. They're not accessories to your life. They're participants in it. And the people who understand this, who plan their lives around the well-being of these creatures, aren't being ridiculous. They're honoring a bond that requires nothing less. Sign number 5. You feel safer with them than with most people. Someone in the comments wrote this: I've always felt safer with dogs than people since I was 7 years old. 7 years old. That's when it started for them. When the world of humans became too complicated, too unpredictable, too capable of harm. And the presence of an animal, simple, constant, incapable of cruelty for cruelty's sake, became home. This isn't about misanthropy, it's about trust. Animals don't lie, they don't manipulate, they don't perform versions of themselves to gain approval. When they love you, it's uncomplicated. When they're upset, you know why. There are no hidden agendas, no passive aggression, no words that mean one thing on the surface and another thing underneath. For people who've been hurt by humans, and let's be honest, that's most of us, the relationship with a pet offers something rare: clarity, safety, a kind of love that doesn't ask you to be anyone other than who you are. One commenter, a combat veteran, wrote about struggling with self-love because of things he'd done in war, things he felt were required of him. He said he has blood on his hands that won't wash off, that perhaps he's unlovable to most humans. But when he wakes up being snuggled by his 3 dogs, he feels for a moment forgiven. That's not treating a pet like a human, that's treating a pet like a lifeline. So here's what all of this means. When you apologize to them, explain things to them, speak in secret languages, consider their feelings, and find safety in their presence, you're not confused about what they are. You're just unwilling to pretend the relationship is less than it is. Because the truth is, some bonds transcend species. Some connections are so profound that the language we use to describe them, pet, owner, animal, falls short. They're family. They're companions. They're the keepers of our secrets, the witnesses to our private selves, the beings who love us without needing us to be impressive or successful or even particularly good. And when we lose them, when those 15 years or 10 years or even just 2 years come to an end, the grief is staggering, not because we're being dramatic, but because we've lost someone who knew us in a way no one else did. So if you talk to your pets like they're people, if you include them in every part of your life, if you love them with an intensity that some people don't understand, you're not doing anything wrong. You're doing something deeply, beautifully human. You're recognizing that love doesn't require language, that connection doesn't require complexity, and that sometimes the most honest relationship you'll ever have is with a soul who never learned to lie.